Okay, hey, BOOZHOO! And welcome back to the show. Welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, a podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am NANABOOZHOO. Over here, yep, she is Natasha. Okay, hey, BOOZHOO, everybody! And over here, the rock star cartoonist and the author of OJIBERISH, Michael Lyons. Ikadon BOOZHOO, Niji. Say hello, my brother. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for being here. That's right. Welcome to the live stream Ojibwe language and culture podcast. Brought to you today by Ojiberish. I gotta sneeze. Look in the light. What's that supposed to do? If you look in the light, it'll help you sneeze. Now it's going away. I hate that. I know. There's nothing worse than that sneezing. Yeah, there's nothing worse. Today, kids, we're going to talk about the worst thing that can happen to a person. You know when you want to sneeze, you get the little, and you don't. That's worse than almost anything, you know. So take that, veterans of foreign wars. Oh, which brings up today is Memorial Day. I would like to talk about the fallen veterans. We'd like to have a special moment of silence for our brave soldiers. Hey, sweetie. Yeah? It's not Memorial Day. It's not? No, it's Labor Day, silly. Labor Day? Yeah. Oh. So we don't have to honor the fallen, warriors? Not today. Oh, good. What's Labor Day? You get to not go to work. Oh. So what are we doing here? I don't know. How you guys doing? So it's Labor Day, huh? Yep. Today is Labor Day. Sweetie, I thought that was the greatest segue we've ever done. It was really smooth. Anoki Gisha Guts, Labor Day. We put zero thought into how we were going to get into the word of the day. I thought it'd be kind of funny is to just sort of improv. Oh, I think it's Memorial Day. Because everybody gets this confused. Because that's how little people care. Just know, oh yeah, there's one day I don't have to go to work in the spring and one day in the fall. Whatever. One's Labor Day. This one's Labor Day. This was brought to you by your friends at the union, the labor union, who brought to you the weekend and the Labor Day. As the story goes, back in the days of the grandfathers, people used to work, actually it really was our grandfather's era. Little kids would have to go to work in the mines and in the sweatshops and in lumber plants and doing whatever, on the farm. They would just set kids to work, but people just worked all the time. 12-hour days, 7 days a week. You'd be like, hey, excuse me, boss, I have to go to the bathroom. And he'd be like, hey, you go to the bathroom, you keep going, you'll be out of a job. Working conditions are really bad. So then one day, I think his name was Joseph Labor. Joseph Labor Day. And he said, hey, man, that's not good. You people deserve a couple days off. You gotta, kick back, take a couple of days to hear yourself. Let's call it 2 days. So it'll be a Sabbath, a day of rest, and one more day just for the heck of it. How about that? And everybody's like, yeah, let's have a weekend. And so they started the weekend. And so this is the day we honor the man who invented the weekend. Joseph Labor Day. Is that a true story? Mm-hmm. 100% true. Look it up, kids. It's in Wikipedia. Anoki Gijogud. Labor Day. Now get back to work. It's Labor Day. No, it's just the opposite. Oh, really? Yeah, Labor Day is a day you don't have to labor, remember? Well, then why do they call it Labor Day? They should call it Take a Break Day. They really should. Happy Take a Break Day, everybody. Let's see who's here. Oh, wow, Jim Dunn. Sweetie, can you believe it? Jim's first in class. Big old gold star for Jim. What's up, Niji? Welcome back to the show. Gets a gold star. Then the lovely and the talented Kaya Thunder. Bonjour, Kaya. Give Kaya Thunder a silver star. Silver star by Kaya Thunder. And good old Papa Wagosh. Mino Gigaje, Papa Wagosh. And what does Papa Wagosh get? I'm going to get him this little stick of gum. This is going to put a stick of gum, chew gum, next to his name for today. Well, he came in third. He doesn't deserve gold or silver. All right. And you get the award of the chewed up piece of gum. And Daniel Black. Mino Gigajeb, Niji. How you doing, Daniel? Daniel's here, sweetie. Hey, Daniel, what's up? Yeah, we were just talking about Labor Day. Or as we think we should call it, Take a Break Day. Ishwa. Anime A. Gija good. Oh, darling, have I told you lately? Ishwa Anime A Gija good. You know, I can't remember the last time you said day after prayer day to me. Well, it's time I told you once and for all. My love, today is the day after prayer day. And in Ojibwe, we say, Ishwa, Anama E Gija good. With all my heart. Oh, sweetie, Ishwa, Anama E Gija good. No, you're misunderstanding me. Ishwa, Anama E Gija good. No, you're not understanding me. Ishwa, Anama E Gija good. Jeez, you don't have to put it that way. It's the day after prayer day. I know. I lose my mind sometimes. Ishwa alama e gija good. Yeah. Ishwa alama e gija good. Ishwa alama e gija good. What if we just, from this moment forward, just kept having conversations where all we said was Ishwa alama e gija good. 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 Ishwa. No, let's not do that. No, that wasn't even funny. So today's the day after prayer day, Monday, but it's also Labor Day. And what can I say about Labor Day that hasn't been said before? You know, we're Midwesterners, sweetie. Yep. We live to work. Is that true? Well, Midwesterners, not us so much, but I had a friend who was from Norway, and she goes, yeah, man, America's weird. Like in Norway, we work to live. You gotta feed yourself, gotta have a job, whatever. But here, it's like you guys live to work. It's your whole life and your whole identity. And I don't know, it doesn't quite pay as well as socialism, I guess. But yeah, we're kind of groomed to really, we used to be anyway. Tell you the truth now, I don't know. Things are a little different since the the scamdemic. Now people don't want to work. Now there's help wanted signs everywhere. And they're like, hey, man, come to McDonald's. You can flip burgers for $16 an hour. Yeah, I know. And people are like, nah, forget it, man. I'm making $1,700 a month just having a child for some reason. That's my job. I have a kid. The government pays me to take care of my own child. I don't need your so-called jobs, I think. A lot of people, they just don't need to work because... Oh, siren, sweetie. Yep, the cops are up early this morning. The cops are up early this morning, sweetie. They got done with their donuts early, and they got up early. Gigajabe in the morning. Gigajabe. Gigajabe is like morning. You know how we say, Mino Gigajabe, good morning. But if you wanted to have breakfast, you would say Gigajabe ba. Wisan we. Wisani we. Gigajabe ba, wisani we. I forgot to put up what eating means. But Gigajabe ba, or Gigajabe, is the morning. Nawakwe is noon. If you wanted to say Nawakwe wisaniwin, that would be your noon meal or lunch. Nawakwe. And there's Onagoshi. Onagoshi, sweetie. Yep, evening. Mino Onagoshi. Good evening. Mino, yeah, like a vampire would say. Mino Onagoshi. Good evening. But your supper would then be Onagoshi wisaniwin. Evening eating. Yep. And these are some just some handy Ojibwe words. You know, if you want to say good morning, Mino Gigajabe. You want to say good noon, afternoon even. Actually, you know what you would probably say is Mino Ishwa Nawakwe. Mino Ishwa Nawakwe. Because remember how like day after prayer day? It actually means like after prayer day. It doesn't really mean day after prayer day. It's just after prayer day. So Ishwa is like after. Yeah, we should quit calling Mondays day after prayer day. It's after prayer day. But Ishwa, so, you know. Mino Ishwa Nawakwe. Happy afternoon. Or good afternoon. Good afternoon. You got to be all business if you're going to start a sentence with good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here today. You know, there's not a lot of times where like people deliver bad news to the nation first thing in the morning. You don't see like the president in a robe and his slippers, cup of coffee, hair all messy. Good morning. Well, last night the Twin Towers. Was that yesterday or the day before? Yeah. No, it's 20 years ago. The 2 planes knocked down 3 buildings in New York City. Never forget. Should we talk about 9/11? We haven't gone down that rabbit hole in a long time. Don't you want to wait for the anniversary? No. All right. So yeah. But most of the time, you know, when you're going to say something kind of formal, like good evening, good afternoon, good morning is like you keep it light. So, Mino Gigajabe, good morning. And today I would talk about something, this little, like Regis and Kathy Lee. Let's just talk about some nonsense human interest story. That would be a good one. Okay, 9/11. So some of you kids aren't going to remember this. You're too young. Some of you, if you're over 30, everybody knows where they were. 20 years ago in a few days. And a lot of people are afraid to even talk about it. That's what's so weird. People don't like to use the actual numbers. They'll talk in code. They call it a hobo code. They'll say something that everybody knows what they're talking about, but the cops don't. So maybe I'll call this is a 7-Eleven part-time job application. Now who cares? So 9/11 happens, and we all said never forget. On this day, we will never forget where we were. 2001, 9/11, September 11th. It was the greatest attack on a motherland, America, or whatever. And so they told us never to forget that 19 guys hijacked 4 commercial airplanes, having never taken any flying lessons on these particular planes, is the story. They took some flying lessons on those little planes like you do. No one, But anyway, successfully hijacked 4 planes. Nobody had ever done it before, ever in the history of the world. And they had flown into 2 buildings. By the end of the day, 3 buildings were nothing but dust and rubble in New York City. There's conflicting stories on why there was a 3rd building that fell exactly like the other 2 buildings. And even also why an aluminum plane would somehow reduce a steel-built skyscraper into ash in its own footprint. And the other tower also, that wasn't suspicious to anybody at the time. And never forget that Tower 7. Nothing hit it. Somehow office fires jumped over the street from the Trade Center, and it fell and turned to dust. Never before in history has any, accident caused a tower to fall like that. Never, and never since. It's been 20 years. Thank you, luck, that once again, nobody else has ever tried to hijack a plane and fly it into a building and then make that building go down, let alone succeed at it. Oh, and never forget that in, was that Pittsburgh or somewhere? A 3rd plane crashed into a field and left no wreckage. It was just burned to a crisp. Just ashes, no bodies, no. That was also weird. Never forget that a plane that just landed in a field somehow exploded into dust. And never forget that the 4th plane, our beloved Pentagon, a symbol of American might and defense, the Pentagon, the tightest security of any institution in the world, got attacked by a plane that also blew up into its front doors and left not much as far as wreckage, to examine, because it just exploded and turned into nothing too. But also avoided being detected by any cameras. I think maybe there was one camera from across the street, like at a gas station, that saw something. But otherwise, there's no footage of the explosion, plane flying around and then going in. We were defenseless. There was no way America could defend itself, had any way to prevent a teenager from Saudi Arabia or wherever from hijacking a 747 and flying it into the Pentagon. There was no such thing as an Air Force or fighter jets or intelligence. America was caught completely flat-footed, defenseless against the superior attacking, of the guys who won that war that day. 9/11. Never forget. So I would like to honor the fallen heroes of 9/11, especially those guys who just jumped out of the burning towers. Oh no, I'm going to burn up. Oh, screw this. Maybe I can fly. And just jump out. Nope. That was tragic. Crying. People are crying watching it. Oh no, the people are splatting on the side of the walk. Firemen are running in. No, go back upstairs. What? No, go back upstairs, you guys. No, we're not going to go up. We're going to run out of here. Idiots. Apparently, the President of the United States was reading a book called My Pet Goat. Really? Is that something the president does? Goes to elementary school? That's something we do. Why would the president go to an elementary school and read children's books to the kids? Secret Service comes over. Here, excuse me, President. I know you're in the middle of a book here, but a group of young virgins from Pakistan are attacking the country on American Airlines. I beg your pardon? It's like, yeah, man. They hit the trade towers, and those trade towers are going to drop exactly like somebody was going to just pull them, in demolition. Well, I'm reading a book. Can this wait? You might want to call the White House or something. We should get you into that secret bunker. We'll take you to the Colorado airport. That's our entryway into the Illuminati layers underground. We should get you down there just in case there's more planes gonna fly into buildings. We're the United States. We can't defend against such a superior threat. Never forget. Say something like, and that's probably how they covered it up. Yeah, but you could never say that on YouTube. What, you think they would just interrupt a show that was spilling truth? Well, that's what they say. Yeah, but we're a dumb kid show. What are there, 6 people watching right now? Why would they care? What, we can't talk to 6 of us? Well, it's Big Brother's watching you. Yeah, I guess so. So anyway, sorry, we just went off the air for a couple of seconds. What was I talking about? Never forget. Oh yeah. So one of the ways that they found out that it was the this group of 19 men from, I forget where they're from, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, somewhere like that. Afghanistan, I don't even know. Who cares? Middle East. Is that one of their passports came flying down through the air, landed on the ground, and somebody picked it up and went, hey man, I'm going to go show this to the cops. And they gave the passport that didn't burn up in an explosion that pulverized an entire skyscraper. They were like, here you go. Here's a clue. Oh, thank you, Columbo. We're going to put together this mystery. Jessica says, Saudi Arabia. Thank you. Saudi Arabia. What are these guys saying? That was probably the plane that was supposed to hit Tower 7, but then it went the wrong way. Oops. Yeah. But Tower 7 still had to fall because it was scheduled. And so then afterwards, why did a building that no plane hit fell? Well, you see, there was office fires. The craziness, of that day. Some sparks flew all the way over to this, went through the window, hit the recycling barrel, that plastic box where always recycling the paper. And then that set the copier on fire. And then the copier, it set the carpeting on fire. Carpeting went to the furniture. The glass started to burn. And then Tower 7 fell. So, doggone, darn you terrorists. We'll show you. We're going to take off our shoes when we go to the airport from now on. Try it again. We're America proud. America strong. We're Ford tough. And so, that was 9/11. And everybody knew where they were. Oh, 9/11. And I'm proud to be an American. And then for a while, this is what we have to remember now that everybody's panicking about totally different things this season. Like 20 years ago, everybody was panicking about this level, about 9/11. You know, it didn't occur to them to come up with dumb rules like, hey, put on a mask. I don't want to catch the COVID. It's like, well, if me putting on a mask will keep you from catching the COVID, then why don't you can wear your mask. Wait. Well, the mask will keep you from getting it, but it won't keep you from spreading. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, they got us all into a panic over Islamic terrorists in 2001. For about 3 years, they used to even give us updates on the news. They'd be like, oh, what's the terror alert at today? Terror alert orange. Ooh, that's hotter than yellow, but not as bad as red. What happens when it's red? Then you'd be really afraid. When a terror alert is at red, that means they've opened up their box cutters and they said, hey man, if you don't get out of that, get out of the cockpit or we're going to scratch you with our box cutters. And everyone's all like, oh yeah, the fallen heroes, the pilots of American Airlines. It's like, you guys rolled over at the threat of getting scratched by a box cutter. You know how hard it would be to kill somebody with a box cutter? Especially if you're wearing clothing. I mean, come on. Oh no, don't cut me. That would hurt. Yeah, okay, well, we won't cut you, but we're going to fly this plane into a building. Will that hurt? Only for a second. You'll die quicker than if I scratch you multiple times. Okay, here's your plane. Go ahead. Close the door behind you. Oh, that's right. We don't have a door. We have a curtain. Never forget. On 9/11, 2001. How remember those sad phone calls from the plane? Let's roll! Exactly. People called from a plane, even though cell phones today don't work in planes because they're too high up. The cell phone towers, they have to triangulate to work. You have to be that's why when you're driving, sometimes your cell phone goes out. Well, in a plane, you're way too high and moving way too fast for your cell phone to work. They always say, oh, put it on cell phone mode or on airplane mode, or don't and try to call from the plane. Nothing happens. Really? Yeah, I did this myself. You're kidding me. Yeah. They always tell you, make sure you shut off your phones. We're going to be taking off. And I was like, no, shut up. I'm not going to do that. I want to see what happens. What are the instruments going to shut off? It's like, hey, who's got their phone on back there? The instruments on this plane just quit working. Shut off your phone. We're trying to fly a plane. It's messing up with the air traffic control people trying to call us. It's like, what? They never explain why they need us to the reason why they want us to shut off our phones is that they don't work anyway. And the whole thing is set up to make you go, they don't want you to know. Cell phone. Because they call them cellular phones because they want people to believe that there's a satellite in space that your cell phone is shooting to, and then that's bouncing off a satellite in outer space, and the radio wave is bouncing back from a satellite in space that's falling around the Earth at twice the speed of a speeding bullet. Satellite. Anyway. So they want... Anyway, so cell phones don't work. Let's never forget how even in 2001, when only like 1 out of 3 or 4 people even had a cell phone, they were making calls, completing calls from hijacked planes in the sky. Because that's not fake. Kaya says, wow, has it really been 20 years? Yeah, I know. I can't believe that, huh? 20 years. 2 decades ago. Which is encouraging in a weird way. Because, like everybody wants to say, oh, that's when everything changed. The world, this is the new normal. That was when they first started using that term. Oh, it's the new normal. You're going to have to get used to being spied on by the government. It's for safety. Now we're going to have to, touch your private parts if you want to fly. That'll keep us safe from terrorism. And all these weird justifications for, just kind of amping up the security side of stuff. And I met people who immediately ran away to Canada on 9/11, Americans who thought it was, this is it. Hippies went, it's the American government, big brother, blah, blah, blah. Well, now we're in a different situation, but the same situation. Big, terrible thing happened, presumably, that you can't avoid seeing about on any media platform. And it's going to affect everybody's lives. We'll never go back to the same way again. It might even be a biblical kind of end of the world thing. There's stuff, it's been prophesized. Well, 9/11, it's got all kinds of weird conspiracy, religious stuff behind it. Satanic stuff, And, it happened. And then September 12th happened. And the 13th and the 14th. And we all kept on moving on. And eventually people got bored with the topic. They kept on, it's been the 1-year anniversary, the 2-year anniversary, the 10-year anniversary, 13th anniversary. People just stopped making a fuss about it. You can't do it forever. It's like remembering the fallen heroes of World War II. Oh, Pearl Harbor. It still brings a tear to my eye. Does it though? Where is Pearl? That's Hawaii. It's not even our country. Somebody bombed Hawaii. You mean the island we stole? That's an attack on Mother America. Let's go kill millions more. Yeah. Thanks for nothing, Grandpa. Don't say that. It's not even Memorial Day. It's Labor Day. I know, geez, you're good. Anywho. So yeah, 9/11. Never forget all these weird, now when you go back, people forget that there was actually 3 buildings that fell in New York. They just think it was the 2 towers, the Twin Towers. And, never forget that nobody was arrested that day. Nobody lost their job. Nobody at American Airlines was sued for letting these guys on their planes, Nobody was held responsible. It just justified, 20 years of war wherever we wanted. Somehow ended up in Afghanistan. But we bombed the heck out of Baghdad. They didn't do anything. And then here's another thing, people forget, and I forget too, because I didn't even watch it in real time. But so immediately the guy, by that afternoon, Bush is in a windbreaker standing on a pile of rubble going, "We'll never forget who did this. We'll come and get you." You know. And they go, "Oh yeah, it's Osama bin Laden. He's the worst guy in the world. He's literally Hitler." You know. And Al Qaeda. And we will smoke them out of their caves. We will, whatever. Years go by. Can't find him. He's releasing movies. "Hey, hi, I'm Osama bin Laden. And my beard changes colors every time I do this. Sometimes I'm younger, sometimes I'm older. I have the ever-graying, sometimes browning beard of the, Anyway, always saying something in a different language. They've got to translate it. We're going to come get you and your little dog Toto too. And finally, a bunch of seals, they go, somehow jumping out of helicopters. They go and shoot somebody they say is Osama bin Laden in Pakistan or somewhere. And then they go, "Okay, we got him. Hey, good. Way to go. Nice job. Okay, what are we going to do now? It's too bad you couldn't just arrest him. We could question him. But okay, good job, SEALs. You better pick up the body. We'll do some forensics or something." I don't know how that works. Went to a foreign country, sovereign nation, kill one of their citizens. Or kill an immigrant, I guess. Take the body with us. And then take it out to sea. And bloop. So what? Are you even sure that's Osama bin Laden? Yep, we saw him. I don't know, because your story had a bunch of holes in it and you changed it after the first one. No, we ran up there and then guess what? He grabbed his wife and he was like, no, don't shoot me. So he shot his wife right through her. And then it got him. Really? Nah. I mean, yeah, that's what we said happened. But now we're saying that, no, we went up there and we just shot him. I don't know. We can't keep our story straight. But we definitely killed the real Osama bin Laden, who was really responsible. That one guy and his, 20 band of death wish, Islamic fundamentalists who also went to strip clubs and did cocaine and stuff. Train them to... that story keeps making less sense to me. So there are 19 hijackers in 4 planes. So that's roughly 5 hijackers per plane. So there's 5 guys get on, no problem, each plane, armed with box cutters. I'm guessing they each have 1. So those are 5 against... How many people are on those big airlines? 300? I mean, what kind of bloodbath did they threaten to... We're going to kill every last one of you. You're going to have to line up perfectly. And my box cutter is going to get dull before everyone's killed. And you're all going to die anyway, so... It's just such a stupid plan. They didn't even bring guns. Oh yeah, he's a criminal mastermind. But, okay. So, this is what they say happened. And, 3 towers go down. We don't care at all about Tower 7. They don't even do a memorial for Tower 7. It's a whole building that people lived in, worked in, people probably died in. I don't know. Tower 7. I think it also had a bunch of government secret papers. I don't know what offices are in there. Like, oh, darn the luck. Of all the buildings, this one thing that would have tied Donald Rumsfeld to all this gets burned up too. Well, that was unlucky for the truth. But, so the good news is, that wasn't, by the way, normal people, by any means the first conspiracy theory. Everyone's like, oh, put on your tinfoil hat. You know, that was just the latest of many. There was a lot of people. You know, people have been calling BS on the news since forever. Since the news started. Going, what? Like, apparently I heard this, like 1/3 of Americans didn't believe the the first moon landing. Even back then? Yeah. So there was always people who went, what? No, you believe that? They're lying to you. It's the government and the news and normal. I'm going to call them normal because it's nicer than calling, the stupid masses, the sheep, the dumb people who believe everything that people in authority tell them. They go, what, you're saying the government and the news would lie? They can't. That's a law. Yes, they conspire. It's like, that's my theory. This is the conspiracy. They lied. I can't tell you I know all the details of what the truth is. But for sure, they're lying. That story's ridiculous. I don't know what the truth is. My mind's open to almost anything at this point. You could tell me, okay, by the way, New York City doesn't really exist. That's been a reality show for 50 years. It's like Metropolis or something. Yeah, every news story is set in there. But it's a sound stage in Burbank. People call it New York City. Everything you think you know, those phony mayors and governors and any story that you think you saw on the news that took place in New York City, you can just know, well, that's not real. And somebody go, no, I've been to New York City. It's like, no, you haven't. I was actually in New Jersey. They have a sound, they just blah, 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 whatever explanation for the continued lie. And no, New York City does not exist. It's called New Amsterdam. I think that's what New York City used to be called. Really? No, I have no idea. But yeah, it's interesting. But it's kind of fun to have 20 years. That was the thing, like, you couldn't joke about. Not since probably now you can't make jokes about school shootings. That's still taboo. But you can make space shuttle jokes. Space shuttle blowing up jokes are fine. But at the time, it was a few days where it's like, what? No, it's tasteless. And certainly 9/11 jokes you couldn't joke about for a long time. But I think 20 years, we can joke about it now. Oh, gee. It would be a good 9/11 joke. I mean, aside the fact it's all fake. What if nobody died on 9/11? That would be crazy. Yeah. Sometimes you have to peel an onion. It's like the moon landing. And at first you go, wait, did they fake that one thing? How come those really old videos look so fake? It looks like claymation. Okay. Maybe, I still believe they landed on the moon, obviously. But that video where they take a picture of I don't even know what to call it, the spaceship that left the moon and flew up and then attached itself to another spaceship and flew back home after the first mission, the lunar lander. So there's a video, I could have pulled it up, I guess. A video of the thing taking off from the moon, and it tilts up. And the joke is, you guys left somebody on the moon, the cameraman. And so a lot of people went, okay, yeah, that's fake. Obviously. It looks fake, and it makes no sense that you would have video from that perspective and the camera would move. Oh no, some sort of timer, robotic turn, shut up. But the more you go down the rabbit hole, you go, okay, wait a minute, if they fake that, why? They're just trying to sell their moon landing experience. And they didn't have good video, so they made sure they faked some video in case You know? But you're still trying to find reasons to believe, no, they didn't go at all. They faked the whole thing, everything. There is no real footage of those guys bouncing on the moon, driving a golf cart, and playing golf. That didn't really happen. They never went there at all. In fact, the moon doesn't exist like you think. It's not a round ball rock floating in weightless space thousands of miles away, facing us the one same side that always, 9/11 could be like that. We go, what? No. It's not only did they fake that was a plane flying into a building, yeah, that's CGI. Everyone knows that now. Never forget, there's only like 2 angles of videotape available in the world. That was one day nobody had phones in New York City. Well, I guess phones didn't have video in those days. But nobody owned a camcorder. There was no news people in the park. There was only just 2 or 3 people who had cameras on that day who witnessed, who could show the video proof. There's no way you can fake video proof of a plane flying into a building. So that was just CGI, But then people are like, oh no, but maybe they shot a missile. They definitely shot a missile. And then those towers fell. But what if the whole thing was like Die Hard? And that it's like, yeah, it's all done on a miniature set. There's some rumors out there that nobody died in the planes. That those weren't real people, those names and whatever. Nobody can confirm for sure. Yes, my wife. You don't know anybody. You've seen it on TV. Yeah, my wife died in 9/11. You've heard celebrities say, oh, did you know the guy from Family Guy was supposed to die in 9/11 and he missed his flight? But nobody knows anybody for sure that they can confirm, yes, I know this guy and I've known his mother my whole life. They're from LaPorte, Minnesota. She died and, to that day, we've never seen her again. Yes, it's clear they had a funeral, whatever. Maybe nobody in those planes died. What happened? That's the problem with the conspiracy theories. People immediately want to go, you're calling BS on the story? Well, what happened then? It's like, I don't know. So, well, then how can you not believe what they say? It's like, well, because it makes no sense to me. And they seem like they're lying. But I can't tell you what the truth is. I can just tell you when a person's lying. I think they lied about so much there that my mind is open to. Maybe they lied about everything. Also, like the moon landing is the same thing. They go, well, why would they lie? So, okay, I got to construct motivations and how they did it and who was involved. Well, it was Stanley Kubrick and the motivation, and at the time, people would like start to peel that onion or whatever. Oh yeah, it's a space race. They faked it because they wanted to fake that they had technological superiority. And there's a new dumb conspiracy. Because they try to make you explain what the truth was. It's not good enough to say, no, you guys are lying. We'll try to explore the truth on our own, but I'm not going to believe your lies and assume the truth through the lie, Okay, so that's why they faked it. But the moon still exists in America, and Russia is definitely a different country, and we're at war with them or something. But then, the Russians never bothered to go to the moon themselves ever again 50 years later. They were just so, doggone it, we didn't get there first, so let's all quit and close up the space race, our part of it. And they go, okay, wait a second. What if they couldn't go to the moon? Oh, you mean the moon's maybe not that far away and it's maybe not what they say it is? Yeah, how about this? What if outer space isn't what they say it is? What if there's no such thing as outer space? You know what? That's stupid. What do you mean? So yeah, welcome to the Matrix. You know, it just keeps on revealing itself over and over again. So I'm not saying New York City doesn't exist. It probably does. I think people go there. But I personally, there's no way I've ever heard of anyone who knew anyone who died in 9/11. I've only seen stuff on TV, the media and the computer. You know, the bringer of lies every day. Jim Dunn says, if the moon is so close, why can't we go there? You'd have to do your research, but the moon's not rock floating out in weightless space. The moon's the same thing that the sun is. It's a lesser light, and it rotates around us. And maybe you could go there in a balloon or something. I don't know. I don't know how far away it is, but it's not, thousands of miles away. We didn't get there by slingshotting around the earth and doing all these weird maneuvers in the vacuum of space. But, there's whole channels and careers based on debunking the theory of going to the moon. Kaya Thunder says, and they never went back because there's no natives to kill to take the land. Too easy, no fun. Hikes. Kaya Thunder is pulling out some dark humor. Yeah, they didn't go back because there's no genocide to be had. Yeah, they should have sent Columbus to the moon. Kaya says, they put a man on the moon and he was peeing in a bag. Yeah. Buzz, there's a reason why those guys rarely give interviews, because they're so crazy and drunk that they tell on themselves. Buzz Aldrich says he went up there and he peed. And then it begs the question, wait a second, is there a bathroom on the rocket, the moon rocket? Or did you guys just crap in your own diapers for 3 days and 3 nights? 3 grown men gone for 72 hours. That would be at least 9 full individual poos that had to somehow be, weighed into the equation of lunar rocketry. Oh, it's not rocket science. Yeah. You guys didn't have a bathroom. You want us to believe you just peed and pooped in yourself in your spacesuits for 3 days. Okay. That's disgusting. No, you don't understand. We have a tube that we shove up our butts that will release the poo into space in cislunar orbit. Did you see stars? I don't remember. I can't remember. When I went to the moon, was orbiting the moon for 3 days while Buzz and what's-his-face were bouncing around. And I went back and I picked them up and we flew back to the earth and parachuted into the ocean. Oh, yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm not saying that I never believed it. I always believed it until about 5 years ago. Nah, I quit. I gave up the moon landing most of my adult life. But I believed everything else about outer space. I believed in Neil deGrasse Tyson and the Big Bang. But I heard this guy say, a neutron star, the size of the cap of a pin, whatever. This size of a neutron star weighs like 1 trillion tons. And you got to ask yourself, really? Okay. If you believe that, if you believe something this big in existence, in outer space, can weigh even 1 ton, trillions of tons. Oh, it's relative, but if you brought that star to Earth If you believe a person who would tell you that because he calls himself a scientist, oh, I'm an astrophysicist. Yeah, I guess it's a theory, but our math proves that a neutron star, collapsed neutron star this size would weigh, 1 trillion tons or whatever ridiculous number. Then you're completely brainwashed, completely under a hypnotic spell. If something in you doesn't go, well, that's clearly bullshit. There's no way. Obviously, nothing is tons. Oh no, but in the vastness of space, trillions and trillions of, then you've just drank the Kool-Aid. You'll believe anything that Bill Nye tells you. If you don't call BS on that, then you cannot, you doubt nothing. But once you allow yourself to go, okay, wait, no, that's a lie. I don't know why he would lie about that. It's ridiculous, but obviously that's not true. Then you keep going down the rabbit hole. What else is obviously not true? What can I trust with my own senses? Are we spinning at 1,000 miles an hour? They tell us we can't feel it. That's the one thing you can't feel in motion. Anything else, if you're in a train, boat, bike, everything you could feel motion. But you couldn't even detect the slightest anything. But we are, in fact, on a spinning ball moving 1,000 miles an hour and rotating around a sun somehow through the magical force of gravity in this weird elliptical pattern. If you know all the stories, I think the problem is most people, if they're pressed, they've forgotten that they were taught that yeah, by the way, the earth goes around the sun and the earth spins. Everybody, was taught that. But, and if you ask somebody and you press them, do you really believe that? They go, well, yeah, of course. But most people have never really tried to picture in their mind and allow themselves, okay, wait a second, could that be crap? Could that be a complete lie? Does it seem that way? And then why? How come if we're turning and one day we face the sun every day at noon? Oh, here we go. There was a meme I saw that explained this. Nawakwe, noon. Okay, so at noon, in the model of the Earth moving around the sun, every day, like right now it's in September, and at noon, North America will face the sun. And then tomorrow, it'll spin, and then it'll be facing away from the sun at midnight. But then they say we go around, so in 4 months, we're going to be over here on this side of the sun. And at noon, it's going to face the sun. But every 24 hours, it spins like this. So by the time it's 6 months later, noon should be facing away from the sun. It'll be on the other side of the sun. So noon should be in complete darkness if every day the planet, the ball, spins 24, spins in one rotation. You go, oh, wait, yeah, so that can't be true. It's like, yeah, so that's not true. You can just throw it out. You go, yeah, okay, obviously we don't. Either we don't spin once every day or we don't go rotate around the sun. Open your mind and go, wait a second, what if it's like it looks? It looks and feels like it's as far away as the moon. Floating, like not that locally. It floats away. It doesn't set, it just goes to the vanishing point. It just goes away, 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 Gets dark because it's not that big. It only lights up a certain part of the flat earth. And well, why would they lie? Well, you start to realize, okay, what if? People say this all the time. Oh, there's a world of lies. Satan, he's the father of lies. And you're living in a realm, everything's a lie. And you go, yeah, man. But you don't really believe everything's a lie. Because, yeah, man, choosy mothers don't choose Jif. Like Jessica, to eat that teddy bear peanut butter. But then you go, what if everything? Okay, so science, everything they say, that was all made up. That's a lie. In the news, we go, okay, yeah, they just make up stories. Sometimes none of that happened. The space shuttle didn't blow up. Those guys are fine. You know, did they have a actual launch that blew up? Maybe. Maybe they staged that too, like a movie. You know, did the Death Star blow up? You can trust it as much as that. But where was I going with this? Something about the moon landing, 9/11. Oh, so everything's fake. And, the news is fake. Okay, we got that. History. Well, that's just impartial. We have records. It's like, kind of. That go back to about 1920. Before that, the camera wasn't even invented. We have these relics, but, we built all these buildings in 1860, just before it would have been obvious where we could have real records, not just hearsay or something that was written down. You start to go, what? Oh, yeah, Columbus discovered America in 1492. He sailed the ocean blue. That's a historical fact. We have records. It's like, well, what do we have really? They never tell us that. What records? Well, the Freemasons wrote a textbook, and they keep republishing it. And they wrote this textbook in the 1900s. That was the history of America and the world. You go, what? So could that all be crap too? Yep. What's left? Your own senses. Your own stories. The history you can confirm that you were there, or somebody you know so well that you can count on them, like your grandparents. Yep. This actually happened. I did go to war, flew to some place they said was Japan or Germany. I had a machine gun and killed some people and came home. I met your grandma, got her drunk, and then your dad was born. Any other questions, son? No, thank you. But, yeah. Let's see. Jessica says, exactly. And as more evidence is found, the theories and the answers have to change. It's people that dig their heels in to prove their point who aren't practicing science. Yeah. Yeah, there's always those pushback, and people get triggered because they've been so brainwashed. It's like, they do get triggered. That's like an autism term. Triggering somebody. When you've been mind controlled, and when you're controlled, when your mind is threatened, when your brainwashing gets threatened, there'll be like a defensive reaction. I saw it happen with me the first time I heard somebody say they didn't know if the earth was round. I don't know. I had this real kind of, that arrogant, idiotic, stupid, I had all this negative, immediate derision for this person. It was on some talk show. It was just some lady. And no one can, And it'd be years later I'd find myself watching a video where a guy goes, no, it's not round. These are all the evidence we have about why it's probably flat. Laser-guided missiles. Lasers wouldn't work on a flat surface. If there was a curve. How do lighthouses work on a curved surface? Those lighthouses only be good for a few hundred yards. If the ball curved, How come it seems like all the stars rotate around the North Star. You know, your theory of us moving through space and spinning and rotating around the sun doesn't make it seem like the stars would stay relative to each other. Instead, it seems like they're all interconnected, like they're lights on a big glass moving dome. You know, we're living inside a watch. And the North Star is just right in the middle. And the sun moves around every day. That tells us the hour. And the stars move around, or the moon moves around every month. Tells us the month. And every day, you know, but sun and the moon are moving around like the hour hand and the minute hand. And then the stars change through the seasons to tell us what month it is. Yeah, actually, yeah. Sun tells us the hour, moon tells us the day, and the stars tell us the year. And all compasses point to the middle of the watch. And there's a big old ice ridge around it all, and the waters are all here. That's how you can tell there's a flood, because we still got water everywhere. Just land masses peeking up. Kaya Thunder says, there are scientists who do some sick stuff, some biology experiments going on, nightmarish and totally useless. Yeah. When you look into that stuff, all this gene splicing stuff, when people see, you know, real monsters in the world, sometimes I think they are just genetic mutations. Some people have suggested that a penguin could be a genetic mutation of a fish and a bird. Like that was deliberately made. And it's not of God, you know. What are some other things? I mean, there's always been a theory out there that an advanced civilization of aliens came here and mixed a pig and a monkey together to make a human. Yeah, I can see it. We do look like pigs and monkeys. But again, more nonsense science talk. Kaya says there are scientists who do some... Oh, wait. Papago says, only sci-fi writers should be curious about leading scientific research. The rest of us must wait until engineers verify these ideas and embedded them in working products. Yeah. There's two types of scientists. There's ones who invent stuff and cure things and have scientific experiments. Then there's theoretical scientists who come up with theories and prove their theories with math that only they understand. And these guys are also known as liars, or so brainwashed they believe their own crap. That's why we have stuff like, and they never educate people about this. They'll tell everybody about gravity. We all have to learn, gravity. Everyone knows Newton was sitting under a tree and an apple fell, an apple, of all things. Oh, you mean Garden of Eden apple? You mean Apple computers? Newton, an apple fell on his head, and he discovered gravity. And proved it with this weird math thing you'll never understand. But this is why all the planets you don't see, but trust us, there's planets out there, like Earth, that are round balls of dirt that spin and are attracted to each other for a while, and they create like snowballs, spinning snowballs, only of dirt, or rock, I guess. And then the rock turns into dirt, and then turns into plants, and then people evolve out of the plants that evolved out of the rock that's spinning in space. No reason to question that model until recently. I mean, it's just so stupid. Is it 9:06 already, sweetie? Yeah, you've talked for an hour. What's wrong with me? I didn't even do the song. Well, we can do the song right now, and then we just keep going. Should I? Is anybody even listening? This has been the worst show we've done. You think so? There's only 7 viewers here. I'm sorry, you guys. I started talking conspiracy theories. I started talking 9/11. I just went off the rails. I didn't play our song. I didn't take a call. I was going to have Harry and Megan call in today. It would have been hilarious. You didn't come up here. We could keep going. I kind of want to keep these at 1 hour. Why? Because I never want to watch a live stream that's over an hour long. Even with people I like. You kind of feel like, oh, they never get to talking about anything. Yeah, I think we should sign out. All right. I'd like to apologize to the BOOZHOO crew today. I got off on a tangent. And I'm going to bail while the getting's good. Sweetie, I want to apologize to you for not getting you up here. I talked and talked, and I just got carried away. That's all right. I'll be up there tomorrow. All right, Michael, I'd like to apologize to you more than anybody. Why is that? Because your reputation is really on the line here. Me, they'll forgive me. I'm the adorable host. But this is your baby. When I don't do a good show, it reflects badly on you. And so I want to say, Nima Nendem. I'm sorry. Nima Nendem. Sorry. Yeah, that's okay. We were going to talk about little cutie. Didn't get around to it. All right, who cares? All right, everybody. Well, I'm gonna mahjong. Leave. Mahjong. Or as we say in Catholic, I got a mahjong. I got a mosey on. So I'd like to wish you all a very happy Labor Day. Anoki Gijagad. Labor Day. And a happy after prayer day. And we'll be back tomorrow. And I'll try to shut my stupid mouth before a whole hour goes away. All right. And you have been listening to the one and only intro song. There it is. BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. You're not a BOOZHOO. I'm not a BOOZHOO. This is Natasha. This is Michael Lyons. Hey, thank you so much for watching. And we'll be back tomorrow. I'm not a BOOZHOO, and I will see you again. Giggle of a min. Sweetie, wanted to teleport. I really am sorry, you guys. Teleporting away.